Good afternoon. This is a eclectic news update. My name is Brian Butt here on, of course, February 24th, Wednesday, 2021. Just here, just talking to all of you out there. Hope all is well with you. On the road doing some laundry, and here in Cleveland, Ohio, it's about 49 degrees. It feels like shorts weather out here compared to what it was last week when it was freezing, snow starting to melt. Also, just want to let you know, guys, know that, of course, if you do want to check out, I'm going to be building out this van here, this Ram Pro Master City, into a weekend camper van. So I'm going to be doing builds on that, and adventures and travels on that channel will be called, it's a YouTube channel. It's called Van Time with Brian. It's just Van Time and my name. And just go ahead and subscribe over there if you'd like. If not, I'm just going to show my build when I do it. Got all the parts. But anyways, just want to talk about some current events right now going on in the world. Is it me, or does it just feel like something's not right? And what I mean by that is, I don't mean like is something not right. It just feels like something's off. It feels like we've been living under this pandemic. We've been having to wear these face diapers for almost a year now. And in about 3 weeks, it'll be, I think, yeah, 3 weeks, it'll be 1 year since the declaration by Donald John Trump in March 13th of last year as a national emergency. And by the way, that national emergency has never been rescinded, by the way. And I think that if that order was rescinded as something that's not so severe, I think we can go back to normal a lot faster. But the governors love it because they get federal funds. They're able to go ahead and do what they need to, of course, and they're able to do what is necessary. So my thing is that the governors love it. They love the power. They love the power trip. And it seems like the people, like I said in my last video, as long as there's Netflix, porn, and 3 square meals and ramen noodles, and they keep getting their checks, everything's okay. So the stimulus package that they're looking for, or they just passed, is basically going to ruin the Treasury. It's going to ruin the economy very shortly. You're going to see high inflation, and you already see high inflation in gas prices. Gas prices now here were $1.79 on June 3rd last year, and just 9 months later now it's gone up to $2.74 per gallon. So you go from $2.74, and I think it was $2.02 on the 1st of February, actually. So it's gone from $2.02 to $2.67 in just 3 weeks. And I mean, that hurts people's pocketbooks. Obviously, gas always does that. It's always very variable because we cut energy prices and energy production. That's what happens. But I want to get the take of what the heck is going on with this country. They say, well, in Texas, we got this thing going on. We weren't prepared for it. And my thing is, its government can't even handle a crisis like winterizing a nuclear plant. How can they tell us that we can't have gasoline cars in 2035? Number one, I will tell you flat out right now, if you get rid of gasoline cars or coal power plants, number one, I am all for solar. I'm all for hydroelectric, hydrogen battery fuel cell cars, like Toyota makes them. They have a hybrid car like that is very good, and it only takes like 5 or 10 minutes to charge up. Though I'm all for technology, and I'm all for that. I'm all for innovation, but you have to make it to where it's mass produced enough to where it can make a profit margin. You're able to not literally put the economy in heart attack, the resources of our country in heart attack mode. When you cut off the power, people die. If you cut the emissions or the carbon footprint, people will die. Electricity, when it's cheap, tends to foster growth, tends to foster innovation, tends to foster more ingenuity. When you have what you had in the Soviet Union, poor nuclear power plants, poor engineering, all that stuff, you had ridiculously high fuel oil bills, and back then they just lived in flats where they had one bathroom and one shower for the whole floor of apartments, because that's what they want for this Green New Deal. It's loving, and yeah, you can't stop them because they know what they're doing. So I think, really, to be honest with you, 52% of this country's power is from coal, and it's very clean, and they have the scrubbers. If you cut coal, power prices will probably go up tenfold. If your electric bill is, let's say if you have a household of 3 people and you're in a 2,000 square foot house, your electric bill, or is maybe, not too bad in the wintertime, but in the summer it's like $300 because of the air conditioning. Well, times that by 5 if you cut coal power. And real estate prices continue to rise. Real estate prices continue to increase, and it goes on their skyrocketing pace to the moon based on nothing. Really, literally, asset prices are so overvalued right now. It's not even funny. I just saw a basic shack in Parma on Max Realtor, $119,000 for an 800 square foot brick, one bedroom in Parma on West 54th not even by Parma, but like in Parma, if you know what I'm talking about. And that property was sold in 2011 for $21,000, and they put a new air conditioning, but that's pretty much it. You look at the electrical, it didn't look too good. It wasn't that big of a lot. It was only a 3,800 square foot lot. But, in Parma, if you're getting your first house, it's not bad. But that thing is not worth no $120,000. So that kind of cracked me up. But asset prices are probably 70% overvalued. To be honest with you, a correction is needed. But they're going to continue to prop it up. Because when you have 0% interest rates, bankers can go out and borrow. Hedge funds can borrow billions and billions of dollars with absolutely no risk, buy up assets, and then give it to hedge funds that are, of course, private equity groups that sit there and vulture on the American people all day long. But you or I, if we go out there, we have a job, we do something, we're making our money or whatever, we're basically paying 30% for a credit card, we're paying 29% for a loan, we're paying I paid 7% for my car, I only paid 3.9%. That's what people are stupid, because 3.9%, they get that at basically zero. So Chrysler, if you go to Chrysler and get a car through, like, say, Ford Credit, they get it for nothing. They're giving it to you for 4.9%. Oh, we're giving it to you for 4.9%, but you have to have over, your FIDO score. I call it the FIDO score. Be a good boy. And by the way, I'll go in another video about credit scores, how easy it is to basically get a high credit score. It's very simple, by the way. I was a bill collector for almost 20 years. I can tell you, or 15 years probably. I could tell you how to. A lot of people that I've talked to that have had bad credit, usually it's medical collections, and collections in general that are pretty much 10 years, but they still recycle them into a new company that purchases the debt for pennies on the dollar. They put it back on the credit report, and they don't have the original debt. Every collection that is basically erased from your credit report reduces that collection, actually increases your credit score by 20 to 25 points on each one. So if you have 15 medical bills that are even just $50 a piece, and you get off at least half of those and your score's in the 500s, in about 90 days to about 5 months, you'll probably go up into the high 600s. If you're looking for a house and that's your issue, go ahead and Google or research the 609 letter. It'll go ahead and give you some more information there. That's what I tell people. That's an easy way to get rid of those. Or pay to delete. That's another one I tell people about. Pay to delete, meaning you settle an account, but you're going to delete it off the credit report. It's good. Anyways, I digress. But so you have the FIDO score. It's 4.9% with the interest rate. They get it for 0. But if you have a sub 700 score, your interest rate goes from 4.9 to as much as 10% for a new car. If it's below 600, it goes up to 21%. So people are getting screwed up the ass without lube, and they have no recourse. Personally, if it was me, if I was in charge, I would literally make credit accessible for everyone at basically nothing. It would be, okay, we're going to charge everybody 5% if you default. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to roll it into a new loan. You're not going to pay any interest. That's how you get rid of this loan sharking crap. That's how you get rid of it. So that would be my solution. Everybody pays 5%, whether it be a house, whether it be anything, it's 5%, and you would get 5% cost of living increase. What would happen in the short term? It would actually make prices shoot down, but in the long term they would stable out. But what do you think, Texas? Do you think it's a thing of the future here and everywhere else? High electric bills. Basically, you still have 54 million people out of work, still collecting checks. Is things getting better? You can tell I went to public school. Are things getting better? Yeah, I was at the gym today, and I was doing some hill climbing on the elliptical, and it just dawned on me that most of these young kids out there have all this student loan debt because they see a lot of young girls, a lot of young boys. They aren't excited at all. They literally look like zombies. And I think that they're getting out of college. Like this one girl and this one other girl were talking at the gym, and they were saying that I have $140,000 in debt, and I'm only working at Progressive as a senior leadership manager, making $68,000 a year. And she had a degree in, you know, theatrical arts, and I just kind of laughed because, yeah, your degree's worthless. That's one thing if you're a school teacher or if you're a nurse or you're a doctor. Yeah, you need that schooling, obviously. You need that for your trade. If you're a mechanic, you need to go to ASE certified technician school. You have to do the proper thing. You want a mechanic to know what they're working on, right? You want to know a doctor. You want to know a plumber who's licensed, who knows how to do what he's doing. He's not just poking holes and putting pipes in wherever he wants. But I talk to a lot of younger people and even older people that are my age that have like $100,000 worth of student loan debt. They're paying pretty much $600 a mortgage payment almost in student loan debt, and they can't file bankruptcy on it. And I said, the next time you should file it under an LLC. My friend says, what? I said, you could go to school and put it under a corporation, and then you can just, if you want to be an a-hole, you could go ahead and put it under an LLC, register an LLC in Delaware for about $1,000, and you can go ahead and take those courses, put on. Those can go under bankruptcy because it's commercial. I said, that's a loophole. So I said, for young people, I would have their parents say, put your debt under an LLC because they can't take your assets. You can file bankruptcy. It is actually ironclad. And there's a lot of younger kids and parents are actually filing corporation filings for LLCs for their children for dumbass names, but it's $1,000. Now, $1,000 seems like a lot, but it's really not when you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. So those are some of my thoughts for today. Stay cool, and hey, you know what? Whatever happens, I'll come up with another video soon. But again, check out the Van Time with Brian channel coming out. I have a couple videos, but once I start doing the building in the spring, I'll come out with more videos. And I love you all. Take care.